needs that people have to try to meet those needs. And the goal here is to give the public an opportunity to hear the proposals. You will, at any time, feel free to, after you hear all the various proposals, any comments or suggestions, I would strongly encourage you to send them both to my office and to Alicia Zeller at the Community Development Office. And we will take your thoughts, your comments, and your suggestions into consideration as we move forward. So our first presenter today is Aimee Girou.
Yes.
Okay, from the Greater Springfield Habitat for Humanity. And Aimee, I believe you have 3 proposals, so if you can give us your summary, and we appreciate you being here.
Thank you. We're excited to be here, and we're excited about the opportunity. Habitat for Humanity, we did submit 3 different requests, and they are all 5-year funding requests that we put in. Our first request is in support of our affordable home ownership program, and that request would allow for the completion of one project that we're looking for some gap funding on, and then the construction or rehab of 10 additional properties that would be available for home ownership. So that would be a total of 11 homes that would be completed. The second proposal is funds in support of our home preservation program, which is an extension of our construction services. We serve low-income homeowners affected by age, disability, or family circumstance who might be struggling to maintain the condition of their homes. And this program allows them to reclaim their homes with pride and dignity. Many families have put off repairs that needed to be made to their homes because of the impacts financially from the coronavirus. So this program, what we're looking for there would hopefully provide services to 20 to 25 homeowners over 5 years to make repairs to their home at an average cost of $15,000 per home repair. And finally, our third proposal, in order for us to be able to do the 2 proposals ahead, we would be looking for funds to increase our staffing capability. We are a very small organization, small and mighty, as we like to say, but we only have 7 people on staff, and 3 of those are construction related. So we are looking for some additional funding of 6 employment opportunities that would create jobs in construction and also community outreach and our homeowner services, because we're looking at probably having a lot of applications to review. And since we only have one person who does that currently, she's going to need some help. So insufficient affordable housing, especially for low-income families, it's been an issue before COVID. Rising lumber costs, reduced housing stock inventory, paired with higher sale prices, has really exacerbated this need. It's our opinion that for recovery to begin, we have to help communities embrace the development of new projects and to stabilize and support current homeowners. This is our mission at Habitat. It's what we do, it's what we're excited to do, and it's what we want to be able to do in Holyoke. An affordable home can have significant impact on a family's health, and according to the Children's Health Watch, unstable housing for families with children leads to about $111 billion in increased health educational cost over 10 years. The CDC identified home improvement as one of 6 evidence-based, high-impact solutions for addressing social deterrents in health, improving housing quality, improves general health status, respiratory health, mental health, and reduces the risk of injury. Housing is not just about shelter. Housing is a gateway. It's an opportunity to well-paying jobs, good school districts, positive health, and an overall sense of well-being. And eliminating disparities in home ownership rates and home equity gain will shrink the racial wealth gap that's grown even wider during the pandemic. The ability to grow our programs while offering employment is a means to close that home ownership gap of low-income families in Holyoke. You really only need to take a ride through the flats in South Holyoke, and you can see the vacant lots and the homes that are in disrepair. The ARPA funding puts Holyoke city leaders and community service providers such as Habitat in a unique position to work together to turn the devastation of the pandemic and years of racial disparity into a rebirth of community. Data shows that home ownership promotes civic and social engagement. Homeowners are more likely to vote in local elections and are more likely to become involved in their neighborhood groups than renters. Surveys of lower income homeowners shows better test scores and higher rates of graduation and college attendance for children And homeownership promotes wealth building by acting as a forced savings mechanism through home value appreciation. Owning a home promotes intergenerational homeownership, and children of homeowners transition to that earlier in age than those of renters. Access to affordable housing is a stepping stone to a family to be stable and to have stronger communities. Habitat works with families that earn between 35 and 60% of the local median income. That sort of relates for a family of four. It would mean a family that's earning between $29,400 and $54,500. Most first-time homebuyer programs or affordable programs out there work with homeowners that are earning an 80% median. There's not a lot of programs out there that are willing to help families that go below that 80% income, and that's where we step in. Most of our mortgages, we underwrite those, and they are at between 0 to up to 3% interest depending on the family circumstance. So this is a lot lower than what they're going to get if they go out to a bank. So for a lot of these families, we're really the only option out there for them because there aren't other programs there. As far as the employment positions and who those would benefit, we hope out of those 6 positions that 3 would be in support of youth programming. We've had really great success in Springfield in partnering with the vocational schools and be able to provide paid internship to students over the summer, and some that have gone on longer. And so we hope to have that integrated into the employment part here in looking for summer construction help or even in helping us with our outreach efforts. We also support a lot of AmeriCorps positions. And what those do is that allows the participant to go back and receive a $6,000 educational credit. And so that helps a lot of kids that are looking at trying to get on and move into higher education. So that would definitely be an emphasis on the employment part. If I had to prioritize my request for which one I would like most, I would probably go with the home ownership. But I say that in only recognizing that there are some other organizations that do supply repairs in the community, and I would hope that they would be able to pick up that gap. Because I think for us to have the largest impact, there have to be multiple housing solutions for the residents. Home ownership is not always an option for some people, and some people don't want to deal with the maintenance and the things like that, so there definitely need to be some rental options in there, and we do need to look at the people that are currently living here and the support that they need. It's much more wider than just building one house and thinking, hey, we're done. So while I go with the home ownership for us as my priority, the biggest impact will come from having multiple solutions and options available for families. The minimum amount of ARPA funds needed to complete the activity, and what would that significant benefit be? We could still make a substantial impact if we were given 75 to 50% of funding. However, it would probably reduce the number of units created. I would say that we have been told in working with both Springfield and Holyoke in the past that we're a good bang for the buck, and we have a way of stretching those dollars. Since a lot of our work is done with volunteers, we can typically create units at a much lower rate than other developers can, because we're not paying out a lot of labor expenses, which is great, and it speaks a lot to our volunteers and supporters in the community that do come out and build with us. If they see one house go up and people want to be involved in that. So it's a great community outpouring. Our total funding that we were looking for ARPA was $3,237,500, and that would be for the 5 years, which again would support 10 new units and 20 to 25 repairs, along with 6 employment opportunities. Single year funding comes in at $647,500 would be what we were looking for in that first year. Our target tracts that we're looking for are those census tracts that were designated in the application, which are include the Flats, South Holyoke, Elmwood, Churchill, Oakdale, and the Highland neighborhoods. We have been in communication with the Housing Authority, and as we've been working with them on different projects. And so right now, aside from the lots that we currently have under construction, we would have access to an additional lot at 360 Chestnut Street, and another lot on Southbridge Street that the Housing Authority has designated that they would be willing to partner with us on. And we're also speaking with them about some other pieces of property that they have throughout.
You said South Bridge Street?
South Bridge
Do you
Street.
have the address on that? Or?
It's lot 029080007. One of the big things that we also want to look at is we have noticed from our past applicants that we have a lot of large families applying and multi-generational families applying. So one area that we'd really like is to, the potential to possibly purchase a structure that might need to be repaired, that may currently be a two-family and reverting it back into a single family, because we're just finding that we've got a lot of bedrooms that are needed to to have people fit correctly just based off of the aging. There's a lot of families that have elderly members with them, and so to be able to accommodate that. We're excited. We've built 4 houses in Holyoke before, and we really want to make an impact here, and this is a great way for us to be able to do that, and so we hope that people will be in support of our proposals.
Thank you, Aimee. Let me start off thanking you for what you've already done, which I've said before, and we do appreciate it. So let me ask you a few questions. I'm assuming that 360 Chestnut Street would be a continuation of the Jackson Chestnut housing. It would be, you got 2 in Jackson now, and that would be an additional
It's
one
right
in Chestnut.
adjacent to it.
Okay.
Yep.
So let me ask a couple of questions. I know you said homeownership would be your number one. If you had to make choices, that would
Yep.
be your first choice. So, and I know your request for new homeownership for the first year was 430. So, if you were to get 900,000, is that possible that you could do 4 in the first year, and you would start construction on 4 homes, or would that be difficult?
It would be difficult if we didn't get some of the support for additional employment,
Okay.
but I'd be willing to try.
Okay. And so let me just make that connection as well. So let's say the homeownership is the priority. How many staff positions do you think you need? And let's say we went from 2 to 4. What if you had 2? How many staff positions do you need? If you had 4 potential houses, how much?
I think I could do it with the same amount of staffing,
Okay, with the same amount you have currently.
the same amount that we have
That's it.
requested.
Okay.
I definitely would need to add at least 1 person to help with recruitment and the application process, and probably 2 construction.
Okay. And have you reached out? I know the housing authorities reached out to you. Have you reached out to the city at all in terms of city-owned lots?
So I have been in communication with community development about different lots in the past, and I do have a rather long list on my desk of ones that I've sort of been driving around and looking at and realized are owned by the city, and if we get to that point, that I'd like to discuss those as well.
Could I ask if you would be kind enough, as you do that, if you could let me know what you think your best priorities would be as driving around? If you were able to get funding, these would be
Definitely.
areas that you think you could make the most difference?
Yeah,
Would you-
and I would say the biggest areas, and that the easiest way to do that are where there are multiple lots adjacent to each other or close to each other.
Thank you. Aimee, you got about 2 minutes, maybe?
So
We'll give you the 2-minute warning here. So if there's anything else you'd like to add, and again, we're looking, the process, I was hoping to move it along a little faster. We had a few snafus here, so we're trying to get them corrected, but
So I would just add that we are, currently looking for applicants, so people can go to our website to get applications to apply, and that we always invite the community out to be part of this. So we would love, either on our current projects or these future projects, to have volunteers from the community out there with us. We can't do it without them.
okay. And let me ask you one more question. So if September 1st, you got 500,000, when do you think you could start the construction process?
We could probably start permitting and finalizing things within that first month.
Okay.
And actually holes in the ground probably by the end of October to November, just depending on the permitting process and environmental reviews and things of that nature. But, we'd like to move.
Yep. And so is that feasible that you could have someone in a new home by December or no? I know that's pushing.
This December?
Yeah. No, right. Okay. So it's springtime?
I think the two projects that we have right now, we have them slated to be finished by June. And if we took on additional ones, we would probably be able to,
Okay.
if starting them now would have them in probably by December of next year would
Okay.
be.
Okay.
Construction's always kind of
Yeah.
fluid.
And in this day and age, it's gotten tougher.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I appreciate that. How are we looking? Time's up? 25 seconds. 25, your last chance.
Just thank you. And, you know, we really want to help in Hoyoken, so this is a great way for us to continue that.
Okay, Aimee, thank you very much for coming. Thank you for offering the explanation. Thank you for offering the proposal.
Thank you.
And we look forward to working with you.